Do you think I'm just a few blood-drawn borders on a map? No, I am a living, starving entity. I am the Soviet Union. Welcome to the world of shadows. I am the narrator of tales that history was too afraid to tell. To hear the darkest truths, stay with me. I am the Soviet Union, and my hunger is satisfied only by fresh blood. It was 1933. Moscow reeked of the stench of poverty. The city was overflowing with beggars, war invalids, and so-called useless people stains upon my red mantle. I had to cleanse my home. To me, human lives were nothing but fuel for the machine of progress. So I swept up 6,000 people like trash from the sidewalks and crammed them into cattle cars that still smelled of dung. On a journey with no return, I sent them to a hell I had engineered with cold precision. Nazino Island. I abandoned them on a sliver of land in the middle of the Ob River, a place that offered nothing. No axes to cut wood, no shelter to escape the -30-degree Siberian frost, not even a single matchstick. Only black mud and the savage Siberian wind. My guards sat on the boats with full rations of sausage and vodka, drunk and heartless, their machine guns thirsty for the slightest twitch in the dark. Do you know the only food I gave those 6,000 souls? Raw flour. We scattered it like ash on the ground. They had no plates, no spoons. They mixed the flour with the filthy, parasite-ridden river water in their lice-infested hats. They ate sludge, and within 48 hours, dysentery began to dissolve their bodies from the inside out. The island smelled of excrement, filth, and the sweet rot of the dying. Watch the madness. When the second week began, the mask of humanity was torn away by the claws of starvation. When the stomach begins to eat itself, the brain commands the hunt. Brother showed no mercy to brother. The sound of chewing filled the air, but they weren't chewing bread. It was the sound of cartilage and human bones snapping, while they were still pulsing with life. Like wild beasts, they learned how to perform surgery on their comrades in the dark using sharpened stones. This is real hunger, cutting a piece of your friend's liver and swallowing it warm before the Siberian cold can freeze it. I watched from afar. I saw the pinnacle of creation turn into rabid dogs, tearing each other's throats with their teeth for a piece of intestine. My system required sacrifice, and they were sacrificing everything they had. My doctors wrote in secret reports, their handwriting trembling with fear. The victims are carving the breasts and calves of the women and distributing the shivering flesh like prizes. They tied a young woman to a tree, not for lust, but to preserve the meat fresh. While she was still alive, her eyes bulging in agony as she screamed, they cut pieces of her body away and roasted them over small fires made of rags and waste. The sickening smell of burnt human flesh drifted through the river mist, all the way to my warm office in the Kremlin. And me? I simply lit another expensive cigarette, stared at the blood-stained reports, and smiled at the ultimate victory of my ideology. To build a paradise, I had to establish a true hell. When I finally gave the order to evacuate, out of those 6,000, only a few hundred walking skeletons remained. Creatures who no longer had names, memories, or souls. They were pure instinct. Nazino wasn't a logistical error. It was an eternal crimson message. In my realm, you either become a wolf and tear your brother apart, or you become the prey that oils the gears of my power with your blood. I am the Soviet Union, the father who devoured his children on a cold night. My hunger never ends, for power is always ravenous. As you listen to me today, you look a bit pale and weak. I wonder in my next banquet, will you be the fresh meat sizzling over my fire?